Shalom, all praises to Yahweh by Shem Yahushai, and double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone by Shem Rakah Kodash. My name is Yakaba from Playing Tables Camp in Philly. Now, all these big companies been apologizing and saying that we're equal, and they've been banks have been apologizing for owning slaves and trading in slaves and getting interest off of slaves, and they're saying that we're equal and you shouldn't discriminate. But remember, even in Google, see if right here, what's this? Yeah, you have this multicultural thing where they're all color. It says here, so that's fair skin, dark skin, kind of in the middle, more fair, and then we got brown skin right there. So Esau, his spirit is that he projecting anyway, which is a lie. It's just they're trying to save face and seem like they're not racist. Esau, he has the dominion. And you have to see the pyramid here. All right, there's a pyramid, and I typed in the word hierarchy. So it's a system organization in which group of peoples are ranked one above the other according to status and authority. Yeah, we're all equal. We can all be equally poor. Remember, the bankers still have all the money and the gold and the power. So when they try to say that this pyramid doesn't exist or we're all equal, yeah, they mean not financially, not when it comes to power, economic power. All right, not when it comes to education. All right, without high interest loans. All right. Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, is the head of this pyramid when it comes to the hierarchy structure of our society, Western society. Esau, Edom is still on top. So as long as that's not threatened, they can say anything they want. So as long as that hierarchy is not threatened, the devil can say anything he wants. All right, when you start threatening that system, then Esau Edom is going to come down on you. This is why he wants to institute that chip, because a part of his hierarchy system, a hierarchical system, is to have everybody chipped. All right. You working alongside another Edomite at a job. The big bankers don't really care about that. All right. The ones that control the money, control whether you go to a war or not, that makes the laws, they don't really care too much about that. So long as it really don't directly affect them. If it affects their businesses that they own, they don't really care as long as the work's getting done. All right. All right. So you have amongst some Edomites that they want. They still want segregation. They still want. They have Edomite pride. They say white pride. That's a fictitious identity that they made up, and I think in the 1600s or something like that. All right, it's the same thing with black. They just made it up. It's not an actual nationality. So you have some the Edomites that are on the lower end that still want to exercise the segregation and the racism because it's in the power of their hand to do it, and they don't like Jacob anyway. I mean, this is how it always been. They just made the laws have just made the real racists with power go into hiding. They don't project themselves as much. All right. And, in the 60s and 70s, this was, and when TV came to America, that's when you could see how Esau really felt on a national scale, and it was published throughout the earth. All right. But it's like you already knew it before. It's just more public now, and it's published, and it's records being made of it that you can't destroy or alter. All right, because you can visually see it. It doesn't have to be passed down by word of mouth anymore. All right, so Esau Edom, he's happy, he's content when he has the authority, when he has the power. All right, this is Matthew 20 and 25. But Yahushua, you can read up to get more understanding. But Yahushua called them unto him and said, "You know that the princes of the Gentiles exercise dominion over them, and they that are great exercise authority upon them." All right, because during that time, the Gentiles, which are the Romans, the Greco-Romans, the ones that were in power, exercised dominion over other Gentiles and over the Israelites at the time. And they still exercise the dominion today. All right, through the financial system. All right, and through the information that they create, they manufacture to poison the world's mind, all the nations in the world's mind. All right. And Yahushua was alluding to that, we're not supposed to rule over each other like the Gentiles rule over each other. All right. Because we were in subject tribute back then, and we're subject to tribute now today. It's in the form of tax. Well, it was in the form of taxes back then. It's in the form of taxes now. All right. So we're gonna look up the dominion over. We got Kata Korio. I think that's king. Dominion, lordship. Yeah, lord. Korio means lord. Exercise says to bring under one's power, to subject oneself, to subdue, master, to hold in subjection, to be master of, exercise lordship over. So this is what Edom actually wants. Because remember, this is his project, this is his club. Why would he have someone that's an outsider involved directly into lawmaking that he can't control? All the people that are in Congress on the Democratic Party and the Republican Party, they're controlled by Esau Edom. There's a hierarchical structure that's set up, like a pyramid. So the people that they elect that are able to get, through all the tests are elected, or whether by it's a small group that elects them, that brings them in, tests them and brings them in, and then now they can sit on the legislature or different parts of government. All right, you or I don't actually vote for that. All right, if there's to remain a hierarchy or a hierarchical structure, it's not possible for the people to actually elect these people if there's hierarchical structures to be maintained. And thus far, since our so-called emancipation, and prior to that, I'm just using emancipation as a time frame, a time period, that the hierarchical structure has not changed. It has not changed. All right. Only thing that changed is we're not in physical chains anymore. All right. And they have laws, governing the murder of people in general. Not saying that you still can't. You're not gonna. Esau not gonna get away with it, or Jake not gonna get away with it. There's laws, that didn't exist before, over murder of an Israelite. All right. So Esau has the lordship, the master over us, and the mind. And the point of this lesson is the mindset has not changed. Only the laws, so that the real ones in power just go into hiding, and they put on an act when they're in public, if they're public officials. The bankers, they don't have to put on an act because you never see them. All right, the ones that we actually see with our eyes, they're just front men. All right. So we got that definition. All right. Remember, one more scripture out, then I have a video. This is Isaiah 33:6. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation, the fear of Yahweh is his treasure. So my other point is, don't get comfortable in the situation that you're in, because it could change at any moment. All right. They're talking about the second wave. They're talking about having a more aggressive identification system they want to put up. All right. I've done videos on that, which is alluding to the RFID microchip. All right. They've been talking about one of the things I did a video on, if I can remember where it is. They were talking about an electronic ID where you can pull it up on your cell phone. So again, they're going more and more digital. All right. So this could happen any time. It just has to be an incident that happens that'll push more legislation passed. And remember, your so-called elected officials are going to push for it, because they don't want to do it, but they have to do it. That's going to be the narrative. All right. So be aware that what we're experiencing is just, like the elder apostle said, is smoke and mirrors. Now and all of a sudden, Esau Edom cares about our economic equality. about, training ignorant niggas, and then, Esau Edom, he's running these organizations. Like, how much more obvious can it be that the heads of these organizations that get these protests on the street are sodomite Edomites or sodomite Israelites? All right, so, and that's against, the code, the law, the order of Yahweh or Yahweh Shai. So this governor, he's going to show you, in part at least, what he really thinks of colored people. All right, now this goes for all colored people of color, but Judah is the head tribe. He's the head proponent. Judah is going to be the one that's going to go up against Esau the most. That's just the way it is. All right. So let's see what the governor got to say. This is Jim Brown. I believe he was an athlete or something like that. Lester Maddox. So I believe this is Lester Maddox, and this is Jim Brown. All right, this is 1970, December 18th, 1970.
I know a lot of Southerners who, really like black people. And, they portray themselves as being really segregationists and that they hate black people and so forth. But
I know some black people feel the same way, but I don't know any Southerners that don't like, white Southerners don't like blacks. Do you know of any? Can you name one?
I'll tell you something. That's a very interesting point.
Can you name one?
No, I'm going to answer that question. It's an interesting point, you see.
It is, yeah.
They like black people, but they like them in a role, you see. They like them when they're very humble and they're very loyal.
Well, I like humble people whether they're white or black, don't you?
I know, but you see...
And loyal people whether they're black or white, don't you?
The white people have the choice.
You don't like them loyal.
You don't like the black people to have the choice, you see. It's only a matter of choice.
I want black people and white people to have choice.
Well,
you got it all mixed up. You're trying to twist it around.
No, I'm only trying to agree with you. Would you let me finish?
If you'll tell the truth.
Well, I'm only making an analysis, really. It's not a matter of truth or false. What I'm really saying is that basically history has proven that during the days of slavery, whenever a slave was more or less humble, and he did what he was told, that he was in good favor with the master. But whenever a slave was too educated, if he became aware of his own self and he wanted to become more than the master wanted him to become, then he was a bad slave. He was then put down because he represented a threat to the already established kind of white society.
Let me say this. Those situations are true with white people and black people.
Now you see how he just diverged from the point, the subject matter. The subject matter is that Esau Edom, he likes you, he gets along with you so long as you're on the bottom of the pyramid, as long as you're a despot, you're a slave, you're subject. The farther you start reaching up, the more scrutiny he's going to look at you, the more tests you got to go through, the higher you get up, and you'll never get to the very top because that's where Esau rules. You'll never get, in the Illuminati, or you'll never be a top banker because Esau Edom controls the system that he created. So it is impossible for you to get all the way up to the top. All right, and then you got Jake that wants to be up with them. Don't you know that Yahweh Shai, who the world calls God and Jesus Christ, is going to destroy this system? The system is going to be destroyed, completely destroyed. I'm thinking about Daniel's. See, feet of iron, and that something should come up. Oop. Let's do this. All right. There we go. All right. This system is going to be completely crushed. This is Daniel 2 and 33. His legs of iron, his feet part of iron, part of clay. And thou sawest till that a stone was cut out without hands, which smote the image upon his feet, that were of iron and clay and break them in pieces. Then the iron and the clay and the brass and the silver and the gold broke into pieces together and became like the chaff of the summer threshing floor. Became like the chaff of the summer threshing floors, and the wind carried them away, that no place was found for them, and the stone that smote the image became a great mountain and filled the whole earth. All right. And the iron and the clay is referring to the Roman Empire and the rebirth of the Roman Empire. All right, because Babylon, which America, came back as the Roman Empire, or at least part of it, because the different EU nations make up a part of that same system. All right, hence NATO and the EU. America's the head because they supplied the main military might. All right, or the whore that sitteth upon the scarlet-colored beast. I believe that's Revelation 18th chapter, if I'm not mistaken. All right. Yeah, if you're sitting on top of the beast, that means you make the rules. You're in charge. All right. And it's evident. You're gonna see the actions between America and then the different European nations. You can see clearly who's in charge. All right. All right. So that's it there. The iron and the clay is going to be smitten and become like the chaff of the summer threshing floor. All right, we got chaff. So let's look that up. That's chaff. All right, broken up into small pieces. All right. This is Obadiah 1:1. It says, the vision of Obadiah, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, concerning Edom. All right. So this is the vision concerning Edom. All right. It's Obadiah 1:10. It says, for thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. So why would you want to join a dying system? Just make out the best you can while the system still lasts. Spiritually prepare yourself and wait for the fall. That's it. You ain't supposed to be trying to get to the top of the pyramid because you ain't never going to get there anyway. All right? Just be quiet, do your own business. Spiritually prepare yourself for the destruction of Babylon, because the destruction of Babylon is going to be the destruction of the world's economy. All right? And it seems like it's being engineered right now. Let's see how far it's going to go. Is it going to continue? Is it going to recover and then collapse? We'll see. All right. So far, it's still on a decline, to my knowledge. All right. So the reason why Babylon is going to be destroyed is because Esau has practiced his witchcraft, and he was always prophesied to be destroyed anyway. All right. This is a Babylon, the New World, including Canada too. It's just an experiment. All right. Canada's going to fall. It's like America's going to fall. The economy is going to be destroyed, and the Edomites and the other nations that are among their population, they're going into slavery. All right. Now, Great Babylon, America, that's going to be completely incinerated by nuclear fire. All right. And all the places where Esau dwells at is going to be destroyed. This is so we're not ignorant. We can see that Esau, Edom, you're still a racist. You still practice, racism. All right, and I'm not just talking about you hate people of color. I'm talking about you practice it, and then you have this structure here, and you're supposed to have this structure, and I don't disagree with it. All right, I don't disagree with it. All right, because I understand this kingdom is going to be destroyed, and the new kingdom, Yahushai's kingdom, is going to be set up. All right, that's going to be way more pointed than this. Way more pointed than Esau. Think he did something. When the kingdom is established, the point is going to be much more finer than the top here in this pyramid. All right, we have Second Thessalonians 2 and 7. For the mystery of iniquity doth already work. Esau, Edom. All right, he's the wicked. All right, back then they would call themselves Romans. Only he who now letteth will let. That's Yahushua, until he be taken out of the way. That's when the Father Yahweh gives Yahushua the order to send his angels to come rescue his elect and to destroy the kingdoms of this earth. All right, and become like the chaff of the summer flesh and floor. All right, and then shall that wicked be revealed, whom Yahweh, B'Hashem Yahushua, shall consume with the spirit of his mouth through his prophecy, through his word, which the prophets speak, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. The brightness of his coming is the chariots of Israel. All right, that have the power to shoot fire, concentrated fire that will evaporate whatever it touches. All right, then his army is going to come, which is the nuclear missiles that the Lord gave the different nations the knowledge to create to destroy each other. All right, so Yahushua controls that nuclear arsenal. That's the Lord's army. Even him who's coming is after the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonder. All right, so if you're not of the Lord, you're going to be of Yahushua. If you're not one of his elect, you will be deceived by his image and his mark. All right, you will be deceived by his system, by thinking that you can actually become just as equal. That will never happen, because the system was not designed for people that are not Edomites to prosper. All right, it was not designed that way. Mainly Israel. Israel is always going to be on the bottom. All right, under Esau's system. All right, this is why the whole image has to be destroyed. All right, and become like the chaff of the summer flesh and floor. All right, so when that system is destroyed, then Jacob will rule in the kingdom of heaven. All right. So that was my lesson. Hope you edified. To the next lesson, Shalom.